students, today we are going to discuss about an important mechanism called countercurrent mechanism. Now in your NCERT book you have already seen about the molality, difference of molality concentration, but I am going to give you a very simple idea which you can easily grab, and it is about countercurrent mechanism. Now in countercurrent mechanism, as you can see, I have drawn not in a very good diagram. It's the nephron, the functional unit of kidney. It has Bowman's capsule, and the red part is the renal artery. Renal artery is breaking off into capillaries, which is called glomerulus, and outwards there is the presence of this entire artery, and it is forming the vasa recta that winds around the nephron. Now the portion of this, that is the Bowman's capsule, next to the Bowman's capsule is the proximal convoluted tubule. This one is the proximal convoluted tubule. Then this U-shaped structure is called LOH or loop of Henle, and this later there is also another convoluted part which is called distal convoluted tubule, and this one is the collecting tubule. I am writing the short forms only. Now what happens when glomerular filtration occurs in the Bowman's capsule? As you all know, there are podocytic cells which helps in excretion and organic and inorganic substances, important as well as unimportant. They get filtered and they passes into this descending limb of loop of Henle, and then into the ascending limb of loop of Henle, then into the DCT distal convoluted tubule, and then the collecting tubule. Now when the filtrate has reached the ascending limb of loop of Henle, some sodium and chlorine will then migrate into the interstitial space. This space between the cortex and the medulla of the kidney is called interstitial space, and some sodium and chlorine will enter into this region which is called interstitial space region. Now as a result of which interstitial space region becomes hypertonic, that is, it has more of sodium and chloride content, salt containing. So due to osmosis, it will try to draw water. It will try to draw water from the ascending limb of loop of Henle. So what I am repeating is, when filtrate reaches the ascending limb of loop of Henle, sodium and chlorine enters into the interstitial space, and the interstitial space concentration increases. Now it will draw water from the descending limb of loop of Henle, and in exchange descending limb will receive some of the sodium and chlorine. So what you can see, salt from ascending limb goes into descending limb via interstitial space, whereas we have seen that filtrate from the descending limb goes into the ascending limb via vasa recta. Now there is the vasa recta which runs parallelly to both descending limb of loop of Henle as well as ascending limb of loop of Henle. Here also you can see the parallel running of the vasa recta. Here also you can see parallel running of the vasa recta. When vasa recta runs parallel to the descending limb of loop of Henle, it will give out water. It will give out water and it will take up sodium. As you can see, I have drawn sodium chloride. And when it moves or when it runs parallel to the ascending limb of loop of Henle, it will give out salt, but it will take up water. So thus here, everywhere, what is maintained? Salt and water is maintained. Salt and water concentration is maintained. Here salt concentration is more, so it is taking water. Here vasa recta leaves water and takes up salt, since salt concentration increases here. Here water concentration is more, so it is taking up water and it is giving out salt. So a balance is maintained. I hope you have some idea about countercurrent mechanism. Now, if you like the video, please press the like button and subscribe for more interesting videos to come. Thank you.